mind, we're going to start the presentation. The presentation will be somewhere around 20 to 30 minutes. And then we'll open up the floor to questions and comments and go from there. I think the first thing is obviously my introduction, Mahia Barhanju. I joined UNI, a lovely job with a wonderful company that I'm proud to have been a part of and proud to have been a part of their history. I've been in this industry for about 12 years, was an executive at De Beers on the mining side, and then after that, I joined one of the most prominent and respected manufacturing companies called Venus. And my desire to come and be a part of UNI and create what UNI is today was to really take the ethics and positionings that companies like Venus and others in our industry have and see how we could bring it into the industry overall. I really believe in that openness and transparency and ethics within the industry and within the businesses of this industry. So my reason for coming into UNI was to help bring that sort of platform and environment for the industry to be able to utilize. So it is an important part of the tasks that we've had at UNI is to create that transparency and create an efficient market place for our industry to be able to work through. We call our organization an ecosystem and termed it an ecosystem because we really do believe that it's all encompassing. When we came together to think about what are the challenges, what are the main pain points within the industry, we saw that the pain points are in an array of different places, on technology, in marketplace and sales, also in capital, and financing the industry, and then some of the challenges around logistics and how to be able to get diamonds around and what to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what we actually did was really put together an organization that sees all the people who need to put diamonds on a platform and all the people who need to buy diamonds from a platform and try and bring efficiencies within the business overall. So on the technology side, one of the most important aspects of what really to try and understand how do we help the industry move forward. And in this presentation, we're going to talk about that. How do we help the industry really be able to sell and be efficient and effective? How do we allow the industry to be able to grow and flourish again? And that's really to bring trust back into the industry. And bringing trust back into this industry, in my opinion, means making the industry be able to be financeable, to be bankable, and even more bankable than it is today. And we do understand and recognize that there are many great financial institutions that are helping the industry. But we want to be able to grow that, and we want to be able to grow the trust that people have within diamonds. And then holistically putting it all together around logistics, which is one of the key reasons why we partnered up on logistics with our partner Malcolm Meats, to be able to provide that trust. So that it isn't just UNI who's holding your diamonds. It isn't just UNI who's insuring your diamonds. You have the name of one of the most important institutions within our industry who is actually helping bring that assurance to you. And that was one of the most important reasons why we look at our partnership on logistics with Malcolm Meat as a very critical part of this ecosystem. So our vision is to be able to create a transparent, incredible, and efficient marketplace for the diamond industry. And that is really the most important aspect of everything that we do within the organization. If I look at who we are as a company, the segmentations that we have created in our business is been really added on and improved So for example, we have UNI Axon. UNI Axon is where all the data comes in into our information area. This is where we actually understand where market prices are and how market prices are. We approached the top 25 manufacturers at this point. Top 22 of them are providing us with their best price, not asking price, but best price, sales price, data and information. We're taking that data. I don't want to use lingo that sounds too sexy. Today they call it AI, artificial intelligence, but really it's just a truth page. So we've taken everyone's data and information, we've incorporated and put it all together and said, okay, this company, they have various different aspects that they measure. These aspects that they're measuring actually comes to us as an organization, and we put it into the same place on this truth page, so everyone's data is consistent and effective. Then we take that data and amalgamate it. We create averages, we create information that are information that the industry and the market needs. What's available, what's not available, what's selling, what's not selling, and what's moving faster, what's moving slow. In time, as the organization grows and as the organization becomes better and more effective, then obviously you're going to have an organization that will have much more information about the industry and can create historical trends, can create forward trends. So that's what Axon is for us. It gives us price information in a much more in-depth and more effective way that's touched by anyone. It actually is a system that is looking at it, and it's purely dependent on the data that we're getting directly from our customers through API. UNI is something that we recently added, and it's a basic API or an FTP with key companies who are RJC compliant, who are ethical organizations that we know and we've worked with for many years in various different groups and organizations that we've been in. They have a similar type of philosophy as us as an organization. They have a similar type of videography and photography as we do. So the standardization aspect of it is quite aligned with how we're actually providing data into the industry. So when you search on our platform, some of the goods are from them, some of the goods are physically held by us. And how does a diamond actually get held by us, and why? Well, that takes us to UNI Premium. There are companies that recognize that UNI has an ability to be able to market in various parts of the world that perhaps they might not have strengths in being able to market. There are abilities for us to be able to really deliver on sales in countries and regions that some of our partners either do not want to focus in that area or have their major focus in various areas. Well, we want to be able to help our partners in whatever way that we can. We want to be an extension and a sales arm of those organizations and of those companies. And they provide us with diamonds. We physically hold the diamonds for 4 months, and we do the videography, photography, and detailed laboratory work on every one of those diamonds that are within UNI Premium. So we create an absolute trust factor and availability of those diamonds to be sold around the world. And that's what the UNI Premium group is and what it's focused on. UNI Masterpiece is an area that has diamonds, but these diamonds are very high value. This is an area by invitation only. So when we know that there are companies and groups and organizations that are very much interested in red diamonds, in vivid blues, vivid pinks, diamonds that are more than 20 carat, deflawlesses, things that are very rare and very difficult to find, that's what goes into UNI Masterpiece. And we work with retailers and jewelry manufacturers and organizations to be able to really focus on that. The most recent aspect that we've created, because of the demand from the industry and our partners that we've been working with, and this is something in development, which is why it's not quite yet there on the pyramid, is UNI Public. And UNI Public is free. It's a storefront. It allows companies to be able to upload their information, either through API, FTP, or manually update, depending on how they would like to do it. You can have as much enriched information there as you'd like. You can have as little information in there as you like. You can put up videos, photos, your contact information, etc., or just put up the certificate of the diamond and the description of the diamond. So that UNI Public aspect is there, and it's free, and there's no charge for any of it, so that people can use it and be effective. And I'll touch on what that means later on in this presentation. So first and foremost, before we go through the ecosystem itself and talk about what we do on the technology side, I do want to touch on the fact that this platform is for natural diamonds only. So we are an avid believer and trust in natural diamonds, and we are a fan and promoter of natural diamonds. So that is something that I want to make sure that everyone is clear with before we move forward. The second thing that I think everyone needs to appreciate is we are an organization that works on a B2B platform. So we work only with businesses. We do not work on the consumer side. We do not touch the consumer side. We know what our expertise are. Our expertise actually are in technology, sales, financing, and logistics. And that expertise is to be able to help provide retailers, jewelry manufacturers, and wholesalers with the support that they need to be effective. So they can focus on their core business, and we can focus on what we're good with. So that's what we do. So I know that there have been questions and comments about who UNI is and what we focus on. I just wanted to make sure that before we go through the 4 prongs or 4 pillars of the ecosystem, I touch on that so everyone is aware of what we do. Now, on the technology side, we have various aspects of what we're doing and where we're focusing on. UNI Passport was something that we created for diamonds that are within UNI Prime. That is focused on 24 unique characteristics that we're looking at for diamonds. And we're working in partnership with De Beers Laboratory on this, that they look at those unique characteristics of a diamond and continuously validate the diamonds based on its natural effect, if it has had any sort of treatments. So there's a lot of tests and validation of the diamond that goes on. Those characteristics allow us to be able to effectively understand the diamond's inherent value. And we do believe that each diamond has an inherent value, and that inherent value we take from the data that we have from our customers and from our partners who are providing us with the data, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. On the traceability part, it's important for us to say we're blockchain agnostic. But for any diamond that comes into our platform and goes through the laboratory process, we are utilizing Tracer to be able to start the blockchain aspect for every single one of those diamonds. And it gives it a unique identity, an identity that will stay with the diamonds through time. But if you are using any of the other companies and organizations that are doing blockchain, again, all of those diamonds can flow through our platform as easy as any other diamond that comes in, because our platform is not meant to focus on one particular area. It's meant to focus on delivering the best service for our customers downstream. Axon, which we've touched on, today has about, on a yearly basis, an inventory of about $6 billion. On a daily basis, it's somewhere between 600 to $650 million on a daily basis. The data on this platform is where we're creating that information that allows us to look at the unique parameters, unique information about every single one of the diamonds, and be able to translate that into aggregated information. Now, this aggregated information, which we call the pricing information for the diamonds and the details of the pricing information of the diamonds, we actually communicate back to all those who are sharing the data with us. So we're receiving their individual data, then we're churning it and giving it back to our customers and our partners on an average basis. In about a week from now, we're actually putting together a very new look and feel of a home screen where our partners can actually log into there and be able to look at their data in comparison to the market data. They can cut and splice it and see exactly what's required. They can use the pricing data for being able to understand what market prices are and hence what they're actually going to be polishing. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? So the data is originally was used for two factors. One, to aggregate and provide back to our partners and to the industry overall. And second, to be able to allow us to finance diamonds holistically. Touch on the marketplace and talk about what we're doing on sales. So first of all, we do have the UNI platform, which I'll walk you through. The UNI platform is a virtual sales platform that you can log into, search for diamonds, either purchase or bid on a diamond. We also have a order-based procurement. So customers and companies that are actually putting requests for diamonds on our platform, we, through our sales organization, go out and try and find those diamonds and bring it and help support those companies. What's unique about us is because we have the logistics aspect of the business linked to us. If a customer or a partner of ours is looking for 50, 100, 200 stones, we can help support their needs as well as help support the sales of manufacturers and those who actually hold the diamonds, like the wholesalers, be able to take those goods, have the retailer QC those goods. What they want, they keep. What they don't want, we disseminate back to the manufacturers. The manufacturers and wholesalers invoice us, and we invoice the retailers. So it's a very fluid movement of what we do in UNI and how we actually are managing this. We're also working on a MLA program to help support the industry in being able to ensure that what they're getting is exactly what they should be expecting to get. On the logistics side, it's an end-to-end solution where basically every single stone and every single diamond is basically focused on and delivered through Malka Amit. So it's almost as easy as you going to Malka Amit and saying these diamonds are for UNI. They will insure it and provide you the documentation for it. And then take the diamonds, and based on our requests, they will then ship the diamonds to where we would want to have it moved to. So the movement of the diamonds, the insurance of the diamonds, not only is backed by UNI, but it's also backed by Malka Amit, which is a very important aspect and an important thing of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Financing, which we looked at as one of the important parts of where we wanted to focus on, actually will provide capital and financing to companies around the world. What happens is, let's say a company comes in and says, I'd like, these diamonds to be financed. We look at the diamond, we take the diamonds, we value the diamonds and evaluate the diamonds. We look at the market price on the diamonds. We say, okay, you've given us $1 million worth of diamonds. It's worth $1 million. We're going to give you 50% upfront financing. and we take possession of the diamonds and help sell those diamonds. The financing can last for up to 12 months. So obviously what we sell, you can either replace as an organization with other diamonds, or we can continue to keep the financing going for the remainder of the year. But once the financing is done, the finance charges come off, our costs come off, and you get the remainder. And to be completely transparent, our costs in UNI Prime and UNI Axon for diamonds that we take logistically and sell downstream to manufacturers is 3%. UNI Public, there is no charge. And again, I want to make sure that I'm very clear. So the pyramid that you had seen earlier in the presentation, UNI Standard and UNI Prime, those two areas, when we sell a diamond downstream to retailers, we as UNI, through our sales team or through our platform, there's a 3% charge that we take for that. For UNI Public, there's absolutely no charge. People can put up their diamonds. Manufacturers and retailers can communicate together. Wholesalers and retailers or jewelry manufacturers can communicate together. The reason why we're putting this up is because A, we already have a platform that does 90% of what is required. But B, and this is the most important part, if we look at what the company and organization stands for, this must be a part of what we do, because this is what the industry is asking for. So I hope I've kind of clarified that. This is the life history of lending from our organization to our customers. I hope that it clarifies that, once we get the diamonds, we value them, we evaluate them, then we actually provide the financing. From there, once the loan is settled, the transfer of the balance happens to the customer. And all of this happens quite swiftly and quickly. So the idea and reason behind it is to really be able to provide what is required for our partners as we go downstream. The free online platform really was created to, this is the UNI Public that we're talking about. It's been created because we've had a lot of our partners and customers who have asked for it. They've wanted a marketplace where they can actually put the diamonds on. It's available for anyone, and it's used free without any charge or without any additional needs. It is specifically put together to make sure that we answer the call from the industry for being able to deliver something that is unique, that is transparent, and that can help people be effective. We don't believe we should charge for this. If there's any money that is going to be taken up by this, let's say, for example, we've all seen these platforms have advertisements. These advertisement costs, if we decide to charge for advertisement, so for you to put your diamonds onto the platform, absolutely free. You want to advertise on the platform, whatever the charge would be, we will take that money and put it back onto the platform to develop it, to continue to keep it up and running and make sure that it is an effective platform for people to utilize. Now, what we would love to be able to do is to have a board of experts look at the diamond prices. We don't believe that it should belong to an entity or an organization. If you're setting or are trying to understand what market prices are, it shouldn't be the UNI price list. It shouldn't be any specific organization or entity or individual that's deciding this. We really do believe that it should be a board of experts who actually look at the pricing, look at the data, look at the information, and also look at the environment that we're in. No one knew at COVID-19 at 9 o'clock on a lovely Tuesday, March 31st, there will be a bunch of us sitting on a video conference and not selling diamonds. So the environment that we're in also dictates what happens. If prices were to have dropped by 20, 30, 40%, would any of us be able to sell any diamonds today? The answer is no. So we need to be responsible, and we need to ensure that what we're doing is something that is effective for the industry throughout time. And that's why we need to have a panel of experts that come from the retail environment, that come from the manufacturing, from the wholesale environment, who are really working together to understand what it means to have pricing information and pricing data. And that, I think, is a very critical part of being able to provide this sort of information in a responsible way downstream and or upstream to whoever that's looking for pricing information. Now, we are audited through Ernst & Young on a yearly basis, so everything that we say, we will actually prove that it is indeed true because of the audit process that we go through on a regular basis, especially on the financial side. For us, it's very critical not to just to say something and say, yeah, we've done it, but really be able to ensure that everyone understands what we say is what we will do. And that is a critical part of our commitment to the industry and to the world. Now, a lot of people have basically asked us, what is the difference between each and every one of the different segments and what's available within UNI? And I thought it would be important to actually kind of put it on a lovely little handy sheet so you can see basically what you're getting. In UNI Public, you're getting the storefront, you're getting to understand the pricing of diamonds based on the 4 C's. If you are in the storefront on UNI, you could also have goods on UNI Standard or Prime. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, you want to sell some diamonds anonymously. You want to be able to receive financing for some of the diamonds. You know, the stuff that are on public can stay on public. The stuff that you would like to sell anonymously, the stuff that you would like to have financing for, you know, all of those aspects will really be able to go through UNI Standard and UNI Prime. And we all know that we're living in a time that things are unknown and there are challenges. So what UNI can offer on the Standard and the Prime is the trust factor, knowing that your diamonds are going to be insured, knowing that you are going to get paid for what you're selling. So we want to really be able to ensure that the industry is flowing and working effectively and efficiently throughout time. Obviously, if you're a part of Standard or Prime, we take care of the shipments through Malka Amit, back and forth. We have the options of brokers working within our platform and being able to sell through our platform and receiving their brokerage fees. Some companies that don't have local selling environments, either in Asia, in China, or in Europe, because of UNI's footing around the world, we can help you with being able to sell into those various parts of the world. The calculator that we have actually provides standard pricing information. The calculator, it's important to note, will be coming out early next week, so you guys can play around with it and see. It will be within the UNI platform. We have various activities that we've done before and will continue to do, like online auctions, physical auctions. You can buy and leave your goods at Malka Amit anywhere in the world, rather than having it be shipped back and forth from one location to another. It creates efficiency in your business and hopefully allows you to be able to be much more effective in your sales process. We've now partnered up with EasyCalc, and this is something that will be coming out later today. With EasyCalc, you'll have the EasyCalc functionalities as they are today, and they're great. But if you do want to purchase a diamond and through EasyCalc, based on the available diamonds that are on EasyCalc, you'll be able to do that now with UNI's basic capabilities on purchasing, and you'll know that what you've purchased will also be fully safe and insured because it's going to go through us and it's going to go through Malcolm. And the sales team that we have around the world really have helped extend the platform's needs and requirements. So it's a very effective way of us being able to sell and do what we're doing. Digital certificate is one thing that we've talked about of how that unique identity will allow the diamonds to continue to move forward with the trust and understanding of each diamond, knowing exactly what they are. And the financing that we're providing, the professional photography, they're all great aspects of what the organization has. We're also doing a trial with Young Diamantaires in partnership with Penford. And what that is we will help groom and support young diamantaires who are wanting to invest in the industry, learn the industry, be able to understand what it means to buy, sell, trade diamonds. They can utilize our platform. We can help support them grow, but also ensure that what we're doing actually is effective for them. So that's us in a nutshell. I hope I was able to explain exactly who we are and what we're doing. And now I'd like to open up, and look at that, I did it in 30 minutes. I'd like to open up the floor to any questions that there may be. Yes. Thank you very much for that question. Let me show you. I thought I was going to do that. Apologies. So this is the UNI platform as a whole. You have the basic information. So when you actually go in there, you can search single stones. Your dashboard actually contains information about what you've been looking at, what you've been buying, what you haven't been buying, etc. So when you log in, the first thing that you see is your dashboard, and the details around what you've been doing, you haven't been doing, where the goods are that you have on the board, etc. Now, when you go into a search field, the search field is very standard: shapes, and all the shapes that you could think of, carats, color, BGM, fancy, white shape, clarity, finish, triple X, double X, fluorescence, lab certificate, and so on. But in addition to that, we also have include patterns, and these are more kind of detailed information that you can look at. So with the inclusion patterns, you can look and, I do want black inclusions, I don't want black inclusions, white inclusions are okay. They're okay to be on the crown. They can be here, there, etc. So you can say exactly where and what type of inclusions that you wouldn't mind or are okay to have. You include in your search the length, width, and depth, and all of the different aspects of a diamond or unique characteristics of a diamond to look at. And things like hearts and arrows, luster, shade. Extra facets, where is it acceptable to you, where it's not acceptable to you. So the search can be as easy as the 4Cs, or it can be much more detailed if you want it to be. So with that said, we'll do a search so you can kind of see what's available and how it works. So when you're doing the search results come up. You can see an array of diamonds that are available within the platform, and what characteristics each of the diamonds have, and keep going to find a specific diamond that, let's say, for example, you'd be looking for. And then with that, when you tap on a specific stone, you'll be able to buy, make an offer, or view details of the stone. There's a short information on each of the diamonds here. If you look at details of the stone, you can then look at the in-depth information. Obviously, ensure you're looking at the diamond. You have the white, black background. You have the arrows and the hearts, combination of the hearts and arrows if you want to skip together. The actual asset view of the diamond, which I think is important, shadows. So you pretty much have the important information that you need for each of the diamonds. You can look at the parameters and information on the parameters, any sort of inclusion aspects within the stone, any comments that are available with the diamond itself. So, and then from here, you can buy it, email it, share by email. You could WhatsApp it to a customer, copy the URL, add to your favorites. So all of these aspects and everything that you have here are features that are easily transportable into the UNI public. But in addition to this information, in UNI public, you'll have the contact information for the company here. So you'll be able to contact the companies and customers directly. And that, I think, is an important part of what we're doing. And in here, you'll also search through our database and information that we have for match pairs and see what's available just through the data and technology. Just we look at pairing diamonds, etc. You can put in your own demands. So as an organization, you can actually put in any sort of demand in color and shape, etc., and put those demands on here and create a buyer demand. That buyer demand then goes into our platform and into our system. And through the data, we can actually pull the information out. And one of our sales executives and or system will respond back to you and say, here's your demand, here are the diamonds available. You pick the diamonds, you pick the stuff that you want. We can then ship those diamonds directly to the customer if you're a part of Amazon Standard, if you're a part of UNI Standard or UNI Prime. And those goods then will get QC'd in your retail environment or in your office, in wherever you may be in the world. And then the remainder of it gets shipped back if you didn't want it, or perhaps it wasn't something that you were looking for. So that is the UNI platform in a nutshell as well. So more questions? Is there a return policy? So great question.
Two questions, Mayur.
So the return policy, the way that we're working with our partners is quite simple. So with people who are on UNI Standard and UNI Prime, we hold the diamonds. So it's basically within our control to be able to manage this. But with those partners that we have that are within UNI Standard, we have created what we call a short memo. So the goods basically go directly from one manufacturer and five manufacturers to the retailer or wholesaler. They QC the diamonds. When they take the diamonds that they want, the goods go back. Now, let's say you're a wholesaler and you want to show a diamond to a particular company or organization or group. We also have that capability with UNI Standard and UNI Prime, where we will ship you the diamond. You can show the stone, and if it's purchased and wanted, great. If it's not, it gets shipped back. And all of this is done through Malcolm Reed's platform and Malcolm Reed's system. There's a question of, by B2B, you're including retailers then? And the answer is yes. We work with wholesalers, jewelry manufacturers, retailers. But that is the extent of where we actually go. Will you upload will you be uploading your, I'm assuming the question's asking, will you be uploading your goods on other platforms as well? This is something that we are talking about and considering of whether we would upload our goods on other platforms. Not decided on that at this point. I can tell you, prior to the revolution that came about, thanks to some key members, key brave, and I do need to use that word, brave members of our industry who stood up and decided to create this revolution. We would not put our diamonds on any other platform. But now that we are seeing an open and transparent environment where people can really work together and create a better industry, it is something that we are considering, and it is something that we are taking into consideration. Can we link the stock to our website? At this point, if you're a retailer, no. We have not that linkage between the stock in our inventory with retailers, and the reason why we haven't done it is we really want to understand the implications. Also, we don't want to create a bidding war. The whole idea behind this is to be able to create this transparent environment where we're maximizing the value of diamonds, not driving the prices of diamonds down. And in fact, if you look at how we're pricing diamonds, we're providing pricing based on their inherent, true, actual value of the diamonds. That is the main focus of what we do and how we're working. So will we actually work with websites? It's something that we would love to be able to understand more of who and what, and then we can provide that information. But with partnerships like Get Diamonds, with partnerships like IDEX, etc., these are things that we would certainly look at because they're industry-led, not individual groups. Is your website available in other languages like Russian, Chinese, etc.? Well, good question. And the answer to that is we are working on translating it into Chinese. The two main areas that we're focusing on is North Americas and the Americas in general, and also in China. So we are working on the translation of our platform into Chinese. And potentially later on down the line, as things grow, perhaps also into Spanish. And Russian, we'll work on that. We do have a few team members who do speak, read, and write in Russian. So our head of analytics the person who's created the kind of the algorithm and the capability for us to be able to do what we do on the mathematics side does have a Russian background. So good question, and I will come back to whoever asked that question and try and give them an answer as soon as we can. But the priorities are China, Spanish, and we'll look at Russian thereafter. Is your API export to use, is there an API export to use the UNI stock on other websites? Good question. We do have an API that would provide amalgamated information back into the industry on pricing. We do not have at this point an API that we will share with other websites. However, it is something that we're looking at, like I mentioned, with some of the industry-led organizations involved. How long will you need the diamond for making a photo? Does it mean that in the meantime, it's not available for me to sell through my own channel? So, so if you put the diamonds on Uni Public, you need your diamonds. So Uni Public is yours to manage. Now, if you put it on Uni Standard, it means that you already have videography and photography of the diamonds, and it matches our videography and photography, and therefore, again, we wouldn't need your diamonds. The only time we take the diamonds are when you're actually providing diamonds to us, either for financing or to help you sell in regions and areas that we're much more effective in selling in. And in those times, then we would take possession of the diamonds, videograph it, photograph it, and hold the diamonds. Now, to validate the diamond's authenticity, ensure that it's not treated, and ensure that it has all the unique parameters that we're looking at for a diamond, and videography and photography and all of that. It takes about, I believe, 8 working days to do all of that. And in those 8 working days, it's basically the first part of the 4 months that we're holding. I hope I answered your question. So basically it's the same screen, just name of a supplier. That is correct. So when you look at the search results, and when we did search and you were looking at the page will have now the key here is for you to appreciate and understand that some of the details and information that a page will have is purely dependent on you if you're using UNI Public, right? If you're putting information on UNI Public that has in-depth information and detailed information, there'll be more information on you. But if you're not putting as much in-depth information and details like inclusions and inclusion patterns and things like that, there'll be just the 4 C's with the certificate, and that's all that you have. So, and then yes, there'll be the company information, there'll be details of the company. You will not be able to buy, if it's on UNI Public, you will not be able to buy the diamond directly from our platform, nor will you be able to make an offer directly from our platform. That is between the buyer and the seller, the same way that it's been done. But the buyer and seller communication can happen by clicking and emailing or WhatsApping. But in UNI Public, where you're uploading your data and your information and your company's information, the relationship of what happens between the buyer and seller happen with the buyer and seller. We're not responsible for that aspect. If we're holding the diamonds in UNI as in UNI Standard or UNI Prime, that is when we're taking responsibility for the insurance, for the transportation, for all the logistics aspect, and also to be able to provide that kind of back and forth before the diamond is sold. So I hope I'm clear on that. What information will be shared with blockchain technology? So again, it depends on if you already have a blockchain that you're utilizing, or things that are somewhat like blockchain. Lucara has their own, and you have a few other companies that are doing things that are somewhat similar to blockchain, but not really blockchain. And if you're a part tracer, the information will continue to flow. Now, if you're not, and you don't have information, the information that will go onto blockchain will start with the polished diamond, because there's no history or information prior to that. So it will start as, this is a 1 carat GSI1 XXX none. And the details behind it, the unique characteristics, the video, the film, the photography, the 24 plotting factors of the stone, etc. All of that information will be captured and put onto blockchain, and we'll move forward from it. Is there any return policy if a client does not? So the return policy that you're referring to, that's the short-term memo. If a customer wants it, they take it. If they don't want it, it goes back, and it goes back to the wholesaler or manufacturer. That's why we requested that because it gives the right time for a consumer to decide, do they want it, do they not? If a retailer is showing it to the consumer, if a wholesaler is showing it to a private customer, whatever it may be. So that period of short-term memo, which is about 10 days, 2 weeks, basically, 10 business days, is what we're looking at as a potential. There are short memos that may take longer, and on a case-by-case basis, we do talk to the manufacturer or wholesaler and let them know, listen, this needs to go here, it needs to be validated, it needs to be checked, it needs to do this and that. So the customer will be able to decide whether they would want to give it for more than those 10 days. Who supports UNI for financing diamond for the diamonds sent through? Wow, great question. So first of all, starting point was on the financing side, the current shareholders and people who created the organization, one of which is Malcolm Mead, and as well as we're receiving support on the initial or the instigation of this through people who understand the diamond industry, who are part of it, who recognize the industry. And for that, there's an absolute return in their investment into this financing. Now, we have a guarantee that is a quite large amount of money by institutions, financial institutions. And what they're looking at right now is how this works out and how this plays out. I could have not thought of a more challenging and intriguing time to roll out this program, but it also, I think, will show and prove to the industry and to the financial industry overall how strong we are and how strong our financing capabilities are. So this is a very, very interesting time to actually run this process. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the financing for people who are providing financing into UNI Capital, their money can be insured through Lloyd's of London. So we've had many meetings with insurance companies just talking about how this works and why is it effective, and there is the trust enough to be able to say we're willing to finance that 50% if it's required. Will you keep giving the wrap list reference? At this time, we are providing that reference for our customers based on the old list, but the answer is no. We will work with the industry to make sure the industry is supported in ways that they need to be. I think I answered the last question. Does anybody interested in buying this 1 carat HVVS2? Because I'm getting some questions about it. Let's see, next. So we're using not the last list, but the list prior. That's how we're gonna continue to move on. It will be B2B, password protected for public. We will not have the public be able to access this. It is purely B2B. It is validated and verified, and we go through the standard verifications and do the KYCs and do all of this standard required information to ensure that this is a B2B platform and not a B2C platform. We don't want public to be able to log into this platform. Yes, 100% natural diamonds. There was another question that was asked about this. We are a natural diamond organization and not anything other than that. You do not need a separate login for EasyCalc. As long as you're a part of EasyCalc, EasyCalc will be approaching you about what we're doing together and how we're going to be working together. So if you want the diamonds sold via EasyCalc into UNI, you do not need to do a single thing other than say, let's go for it. And that's all you need to do. Is there online purchase? Is there online purchases or stones physically viewed? Yeah, definitely. We've had majority of our purchases have been online. Now, if it's a retailer demand and they need to QC the diamonds, that's when the diamonds go out to be QC'd. But when people are looking at the diamonds, they can make an offer from here. You can hit the make an offer button and communicate back and forth through the system until you agree on a price and the stone is sold, and that's it, it's done. And we've had quite a few of our sales that have happened in that way. This is a short-term memo, and if it needs to be longer, we communicate. It's a decision as one of our partners whether you want to do this or not. So 8 days is how long it takes to validate the diamond and videograph and image the diamond. At 8 business days, I need to make sure that we understand that. Is it necessary for me to send the diamonds to Uni if I'm using a platform to put my stock and for how it is not necessary for you to send diamonds to Uni if you're using Uni Public. Uni Public, you can upload your information, whatever that you have. It's not an issue or a problem. Now, if you're using Uni Standard or Uni Prime, those are the two that have more in-depth information. We would actually require videography and photography for Uni Standard, which is an API, or an FTP directly into our platform with all the details of the diamond. And then the Uni Prime, that is the only time we will physically ask to hold the diamond, validate the diamond, and view the diamond. What is turnover time, minimum, maximum time to sell a diamond sent to Uni? So if it's demand-based, if it needs to be QC usually takes anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks, and then you'll know. If it is on our platform, it can take anywhere between 30 days to 90 days, depending on what your prices are for the diamonds. We all know that the supply-demand model works irrelevant of where the diamonds are placed. So if the diamonds are priced high and the value of the stone is lower, obviously it will take more time. If the diamond is priced to market and it is acceptable and it is something that customers are looking for, then it will be shorter. How do I sell the stones if you keep them? Long time for photos plus expertise. Now, the Uni Prime is when we actually physically hold the stones. But for everything else, Uni Standard and Uni Public, it's your stones. It's held by you. You're the one who manages it. But Uni Prime, if we're doing the financing for the diamonds, we physically hold possession of those diamonds. If you want us to help you market those diamonds, which we would love to be able to do, because we know where our expertise are in areas, we will take possession of those diamonds and be able to market them downstream. So the based on specific diamonds, we might actually come back and tell you, mate, that you guys are much better experts at these particular areas of goods or in this particular aspect. We're not here to take advantage of any one organization or person or group. We want to make sure that we're helping you be an additional sales arm in your organization and in your environment. Can you share the link, the video link? Can we share the video? Yes, you can share the video link with your customers. So share by email, share by WhatsApp. So if you hit share by email, there you go. It will create the whole information for the diamond, which will then go to the customer and be shared. And you can do the same thing with anything else. How many total members are already registered so far? And you can just give a little idea of what the proportion are in diamond manufacturers, sellers, dealers, retailers, and wholesalers. I mean, percentages. The person who asked this question, it's a great question. I can tell you that it's changing. Our numbers are changing quickly because of everything that has happened. But we have a fairly healthy number of buyers, which it's difficult to say. If you're buying a diamond, we can categorize you as retailers, jewelry manufacturers, and wholesalers. We can also go through and give you in-depth information about luxury retailers, independent retailers, and large chain retailers. We have a fairly healthy group of retailers. About 40% of the platform itself is contained with people who are within that environment. But again, one of our biggest tasks here is to grow that even more. and the remainder are either jewelry manufacturers or wholesalers who are within our platform. Happy to share that information and provide that. When you're looking at your dashboard, by the way, you'll be able to get more of an in-depth information of who's been buying your goods, what they've been buying, etc. So that information will be there available for you when you want to look at it. And let's see, as a young diamanter, I didn't get to have a lot of stock. How can I compete with manufacturers? This is what makes this platform intriguing and interesting. First of all, on the UNI Standard and UNI Prime, what is important in what you're showing is the actual diamond itself, right? So this isn't about a manufacturer. This isn't about, it's about the diamond, the inherent, true, optimal value of a diamond. So it doesn't matter if you have 5 diamonds that you're showing or 100 diamonds that you're showing. What's important is the diamond actually has unique information and the identity to be able to allow it to sell. Now, some say, well, then you need to decrease your prices to be the top of the list. We don't show diamonds based off of that. We show the diamonds based off of the search results. Now, if people want to sort the diamonds in whatever way that they want, they can sort it based on price. They can sort it based on total value. They can sort it based on whatever they wish. But for us, the most important aspect of what we're doing is to be able to provide the true inherent value of diamonds. When you look at our calculator and it's coming out, you won't see the price based on just average prices or the cheapest price. You'll see what the average price within the market is. You'll see what the highest price in the market is. You'll see what the lowest price in the market is. Because what we're trying to do is ensure that people understand that there's a true and inherent value for every single diamond that's out there, and not just focus on the cheapest. The cheapest is the cheapest because there's something that has caused it to be that. Black PK in the center, opens in the center, whatever that the challenge or issues that the stone may have, or unique characteristics that the stone may have. Those things cause it to be at a lower price. So we want to ensure that we're putting that out there, that people understand that there is a true and honest value for each of the diamonds. Is there a put on hold option? There isn't, but once you are actually making an offer, people will see that the diamond has been put on offer, and that stone is not available for others to make an offer to. So I guess that could be considered a hold option. Now, I've taken 7 minutes more of the time than I had. I wanted to say thank you very much for all your help and support and listening in. I also want to encourage you, if you have any questions or concerns, please, you're more than welcome to email us at office@uni.diamonds. That's with an S at the end, or sales@uni.diamonds. If you have any questions, concerns, you need follow-up, we're here, and we thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see our industry grow and flourish, and together we really, really can make a change in this industry. So for that, I thank you, and thank you very much for your time.